identity, there are so many things that you can access. You can access health, you can access employment, you can vote, and do so many things. Even in school legislation, it is a requirement that that has to be there. So I don't want to talk much. I just want to first introduce my colleague, Secretary Civil Registration, to come and also say something because he also plays a very important role in the initial registration at birth. Mr. Mwangemi, karibu.
Thank you, Dr. Wanjao. Our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Kichumba Murkomen, our two permanent secretaries, Dr. Molo and Dr. Belio Kipsang, and all other guests. Allow me to write on the protocols already established. My name is Paul Mangemi, in charge of Civil Registration Services. When we talk of Civil Registration Services, this is the department that registers births and deaths and issues births and death certificates. And you know very well that when it comes to legal identity, the birth certificate is actually the first legal identity that identifies an individual immediately after birth. And that is the document that allows this child to access other services before that child reaches the age of 18 years. Mine is actually very short. I want to encourage parents and everybody else to make sure that every birth that takes place in Homabay and in this country in general is reported and registered immediately because one, it is the first right of the child to be registered, to have a name, and to get that birth certificate, but because it is the one that identifies that child legally right from birth, and it confers that child all the rights that accompanies registration. So that is actually my request that you make sure that you register all the births that take place and apply for the birth certificates. I know we have been having challenges in home, and I will not talk more about that one, but we are working very closely. Our CS will talk more about that one to make sure that we bring services closer to Wananchi to make sure that we access our services. With those few remarks, let me return this one back to my colleague, Dr. Wanjao. Thank you so much and be blessed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwangemi. Before we project a small video, short video of 2 minutes, I'd like to invite Principal and Civil Secretary, National Administration, just to introduce the team from Nairobi, team from the Ministry from Nairobi, and also in the State Department.
Our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Onesimus Kichumba Murkomen, and our two principal secretaries, allow me to stand on all the protocols that have been observed earlier on, and to request all officers accompanying our Cabinet Secretary and the two PSs to kindly be outstanding. As you are aware, we have 3 state departments, and these are the officers from the state departments and also from the semi-autonomous government agencies. A round of applause for them. And let me take this opportunity to invite Ambassador Ochieng, our e-citizen, to give very brief remarks. Asanteni sana. Homabay, Amosiuru.
Our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Kichumba Murkomen, Dr. Belio Kipsang, the PS Immigration and Citizen Services, the PS Interior, Dr. Raymond Molo, my colleagues and Jambo, Ungimo Muduto, Bas, Wabewatika, Navio Moso, Wabilo Kai Munyaka Ukao National ID. Kauseka National ID, Kaitwa Ikema Kura. Tokura no dongoje kumwatiri wangu. Dongoje kumwachome. Tukabiwacha mangeni, waziri kwa masalimia, naambia Mungu awe nawe. Na waziri kuwa na amani. We are very happy to have you here, waziri, also some of the soil, and water Lego kucha. Umia Lego, Jalego Tikabi, Jalego ka. Bas, Rotobaki, okay, sana Balozi Ochieng, Waziri, we shall have a short video of 2 minutes. Then there are two solutions that we shall demonstrate to you. Those are biometric identification solutions. So either listen to the video for 2 minutes. It will sum up what we are discussing today.
Probably all of them. Well, did you know that there's one asset?
We shall demonstrate a solution that can be used to access fingerprints and any other information that is in your ID. And we can do randomly across, so long as you are here with a third generation ID, we can be able now to demonstrate that. The second solution is on biometric verification, and that will, it can be able now to search all the 34 million Kenyans that are above 18 years and above. verify, because mostly what they usually do, they usually send letters to us to check the identity of someone. But with this solution, they just need to put that solution in their place, and they're able now to check and instantly, within seconds, verify the same information. It's a same solution that can be used by SHA for health, so that once you go to hospital, you can be able now to be properly identified easily. So I'll request my colleague Chebi to take us through the solution. Welcome, Chebi and the team.
Our CS, our peers, and all. Sorry. So, Bwana CS, karibu sana. Before you, we have 2 solutions of 3 that we want to demonstrate. And the solutions are geared towards biometric verification. So today we have a big issue on people holding IDs and they cannot be linked to that ID. So we've come up with 3 solutions. The first solution will ride on the existing ID that you have. So whether you have the only generation ID or the current ID, you'll be able to be verified. So with only your number, your ID number, we can be able to verify your fingerprints. So before you, there is an application we call ID verification. So this is an application that we only supply the ID number, and we shall call from the central database your record of your fingerprints, and we match against what you supply. So for example, maybe my colleague here will put his ID number. So his ID number is what he's tapping now. He's a citizen by category of registration. So then we say we fetch the data. When we say fetch the data, it's connecting to the central database in Nairobi and getting the information, the biometrics, all the 10 fingerprints of this Kenyan. So the record is there, it's pulled with including his photo. So the photo is actually belonging to him, and it is actually coming from the central database. So now he wants to verify his fingerprints, whether he's the real owner of the fingerprint. So he can choose one of the fingers, right finger, left thumbprint is what he has chosen. So he's comparing, we have captured it. That is his live captured fingerprints from this tablet here. And now we want to perform the matching or the verification of the fingerprints. So when we click verify fingerprints, it will match these fingerprints against the database. And the result is just a yes or a no. So for this case, it is a match because it is his fingerprints. If I was to supply my own fingerprints on this tablet, on his ID, it will not match. So we can actually do that with a different fingerprints, if you allow, sir. So I'm using my own finger. We want to simulate whether it will match or not. Yes. So the result is no match. So there's no way of impersonation. So we want to do a volunteer. Anybody from the crowd? Yes, come forward.
Give me your ID number.
We need only his ID number. We don't require anything else. It uses as the ID number. We shall call from the database, the record, and we will be able to match.
Eight one one.
I think he gave us the wrong number. So let's do it again. So we are fetching the data. There's no record. Okay, so at least we have found him, Mr. Lazaro. So now we want to capture his finger. Now, Let's capture his finger, one of the finger, which is the right thumbprint. So we've captured, so then after that we verify. We want to see whether it will match with the record that is existing in the central database. I think placement, maybe you can redo again, because you have to put at the center of the reader so that you get the best finger quality. Let's use another finger. Maybe that one has a poor quality. Let's use another one, different. Use another different finger.
Left-handed. The right one.
Left. This one. And this one today will match for sure, because this is a good quality finger. Let's use another ID. I think this has an issue. So let's fetch Tobias. So left thumb. Left thumbprint. No, it's not properly placed. This way. Yeah, that.
The system is not working.
It is working.
Huh?
It is working. Clear. Reset. Left.
Left one.
It's crazy.
The right one.
Let's use the index. The index. Don't use the right index. Right index. This one. You need to fetch fast. I think wanna see us? I think we have a. It works. Works very well.
Try him on a different system. On the other one, you want to demonstrate.
Yes.
That one is matching. Try him.
So this is matching. So we need to move to the next application because we have 3 applications. So this one requires only your ID. Once you supply with the ID, it will match. So we are going to use a different application, which is the one we are going to take the 10 fingerprints of the person. So with this application, we can also ask for another volunteer. Yes, come. So we want to verify his fingerprints. What is your ID number? Submit. So we have the screen. Screen is disconnected. That cable is not good. It works. Shikilia.
As we finalize the demonstrations, sometimes when you want to test something on when the boss is there, sometimes we have because of panic and other issues. But these are solutions that is clearly working, and we know that it will go a long way in supporting most of our processes in identification. So before I invite the Principal Secretary, State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services, as they try to do the connection, I want to invite the area member of parliament, Honorable Peter Kaluma, just to say a word. I know we are blessed with time. We're supposed to have been left here by midday, but karibu mheshimiwa, ndio baadaye tuone vile tunaendelea. Karibu sana, asante sana. Na asante sana mheshimiwa kwa kumobilize wananchi. Naona wamekuja kwa wengi sana. Asante sana. Karibu.
The CS in charge of Interior and National Administration, the Honorable Kipchumba Onesimus Murkomen, the PS in charge of Internal Security and National Administration, Dr. Raymond Omolo, the PS in charge of Immigration and Registration Services, Brother Belio Kipsang, the DIG Administration Police Services, Police Service and the entire security apparatus present, the members of the National Government Administration officers present, Hamjamboni. CS, I want to thank you for getting time to join the people of Kenya here in commemorating the world's Identity Day. And CS, I know we are going to speak for long elsewhere. This is not the first time the CS is here with this big team, but I want to thank the CS for coming with even a bigger team from the national government. Because we are commemorating the World AIDS Day, CS, the biggest challenge we face in terms of registration are two. Number one, Homabay County is a border county. Many people do not know, but we border Uganda and we border Tanzania through Lake Victoria Cross. And so, allow me to thank the President of the Republic of Kenya before our people for removing that vetting requirement. Very many people think it is just about the people of northeastern Kenya and other areas. But it is something which was hindering the registration of our people here in a very big way. CS, if you were to move into the villages, you will get people as old as 70 or over 70 years who are not yet registered. This makes me to make two requests to you, Bwana CS and your officials from the national government. Number one, that Homabay is a very big county, but we have only 6 registration centers out of the 8 constituencies we have. We want to request that the constituencies, through you PS in charge of the relevant government department, that we have a registration office in Dewa constituency. Dewa is indeed the biggest, if not one of the biggest, constituencies in Homabay County. Just across here is also a very remote constituency in terms of infrastructure, but also the most populated. The fact of lack of a registration office there is a very big hindrance. And then we also want to request the PS through UCS that the other constituency which does not have a registration office be dealt with. But number two, CS, our people are not registered in their numbers also because of the distance that they have to cover. So I want to request the national government through you that we find a way of taking these registration processes down to the locations, down to the sub-locations, and down to the wards. And I know it's a request I'm making to the PS through UCS. As a son of this soil, I know you'll say something about that. Joturua, one year card. What are you register? What are you register? Pay kawuni talking any maroganda, don't we? So government services, kaka education loans board, registration for university, huduma services mag sirikal te, to kata marsha. Bende okinyal bedo miti yudo maber kaka gitiyo maber ni kokitimo registration. To moloyo adwa kwawu mondo register nikech piny rito gi ng'eny mar oganda. Piny rito gi ng'eny mar jomoko koni wathin. Gikoni wathin nikech pile ka pile iyudo ka namba wa manitiyo ko register kaka ID. Wadwa nyisogi ni wan jo Kenya kama wadhiye mbele ni. Kendo gidwa ng'e ni wantie kendo wan jo Kenya. Uyie? Koro register u. The other registration I want to request you to take very seriously en wach mar Shani. Shani ji goye siasa mang'eny ni okoti. To anantie gi nyithiwa owuon moko mantie gi breast cancer, moko nitie gi tuoche mopogore. Ma Shani ema koro konyo kata onge pesa magikwayo kata di. Temuru mondo register. Ginado nyiso gi dhowa ni counties moko muneno mamoko ma ji goye koko mang'eny ni chao tika. Gine magi register malo piny duto te. Koro dwaro nu register ukaw ID and then bang'e machielo cha bende ne waseyawo dhi mbele. Oro nyiso piny ni wantie and then sha bende register. In those very many words, CS, allow me to inform you and just confirm that we are here representing the leaders of Homabay County, including our governor, your great friend, who is engaged in a critical national process in Nairobi. She welcomes you. I think I can say that on her behalf. And we have, on behalf of all the MPs from Homabay, the 8 of us, actually the 10 of us, Honorable Martin Owino Peters from Dewa. Owino, because of time, we've agreed, PS, that we will speak more the other side after the people, or if you permit, if only you permit. Yes. So Honorable Martin Owino Peters, the MP from Dewa, then will stand with the people. Want to give Martin ka? Yeah. Yeah, just 1 minute because there is a request.
Thank you so much, CS. Yes, Molo and yes, Kipsan. Today I'm the happiest person because people come from all the way out of Pulo in Dewa, almost 30 kilometers to come and register. Now, in my presence, the CS directed that in 2 months there will be a birth and death registration in the Owanamo. That is exciting to me. Now, secondly and last, I'm a member of the health committee. And we are preaching about this SHA. Please, get inside. You know, when the gift is coming, a child cries. And they cry. When it's fully developed, they eat like elephant. Now, why do you think that getting where you are? Because if you move, which you now you again.
So, CS, without much ado, allow me to return the mic so that we can go to the other protocol. So thank you very much for being with us here.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Waziri, tunashukuru sana for taking your time to grace this occasion. I don't want to talk more. I just want to take this opportunity to welcome our PS na tumkaribishe kwa makofi. Moja, mbili, tatu. Our PS, State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services, to make his remarks. Karibu sana.
Asante sana Secretary, Waziri Murkomen, mwenzangu Raymond, elected leaders led by our host MP, Bwana Kaluma, DIG and all my colleagues in government. Leo hatuna mambo mingi, we've come here for the registration day. And because my colleague Raymond is here, before I say much, I would want him to come make some comments. Thereafter, I'll make very few comments and invite the CS. Karibu Raymond.
Asante sana ndugu yangu Dr. Belio Kipsang, ambaye kwa wakati mmoja alikuwa mkubwa wangu. I actually worked under PS Belio for many years before we became colleagues. So karibu Homabay na karibu nyumbani. Waziri Mheshimiwa Murkomen, naibu wa IG Bwana Masengeli, our regional commissioner, and maybe just stand up so that people can get to appreciate you. Wapam Neu regional commissioner. Then we have our acting county commissioner, na timu yake. Let's appreciate him. So Waziri, I really don't have much to say here because we have a much longer program. And today our work is to listen to the people of Homabay and also be able to share with them ideas of how we can be able to resolve some of the issues, particularly issues that touch on matters to do with security. Jadala wakawuono wan giwelo, wan gijatenda maduong' ma en waziri kendo osiepna Murkomen. Jadi morwako waziri Murkomen. Karibu waziri. Nikech ka wan gi welo to nitiere kaka nyaka watimre. Warwako welo yo maber. Kaito mogik, I want to appreciate the elected leadership of Homabay County. I'm not sure if there are members of County Assembly here. Do we have any member of the County Assembly? I'm sure they will be with us in the next forum. But the Honorable Kaluma, the Honorable Owino, thank you for coming and also for representing the rest of your colleagues. We were with Millie last evening and she couldn't make it. The governor, just like you've been told, has an engagement with the Senate. Let's continue with the same spirit for service delivery to the people of Homabay. And we are marking a very important day today, the World ID Day. We need to push so that each and every one of us is recognized and registered. As a child, there is a birth registration. As an adult, there is an ID registration, which then would allow you to have a voter's card or registration as a voter for purposes of enabling all of us to exercise our democratic rights. I know the rest of the people have been introduced. We will do more introduction at the other forum. But for everybody who has come to participate in the registration, I want to encourage you that the team that is here will be here the whole day. Let's ensure that those who must be registered are registered. Otherwise, asanteni sana na mmekaribishwa. Yes, karibu.
Asante sana PS Raymond. So once again, we are grateful that we are here. Nasema asante sana Raymond. He brought me here first to this county in 2021 when we came to see a project here called Kimira Oluch. At that time, I was working in the department that was dealing with projects including Kimira Oluch. CS, we would not really want to take so much. We would want to thank you, one, for accepting to be part of this particular very important exercise, this very important day, the International Day for Identification. And when we talk of identification, sometimes you may think of an ID. Identification goes beyond the ID. It starts with that first registration at birth. And CS, I would want also to mention today that we have migrated to what we call e-notification, so that all children who are born in hospitals are registered at birth at the hospital. And Mwangemi tells me that 90% of births are done at hospitals. And that's why we are now having e-notification to be done at hospital level, so that we capture everybody at that particular stage. So we would want to affirm once again, CS, our commitment in ensuring that there is total inclusion and that nobody is left behind. And therefore, this day is very important. So CS, as already mentioned by my colleagues, having the ID is very important. It will allow you to register in the university. It will allow you to register for elections. It will allow you to register for share. And most importantly, I've seen affordable housing here. For you to get that house, you require an ID. So leo tukisema tutafute ID, you can see the extent to which it can assist us. CS, I would not want to say beyond that. Today is your day to be with us in this very important day. And I would want to mention that starting next week, we are going down to our counties in what we shall call Usajili Mashinani, starting with Turkana County, and we shall be able to move across the country to make sure that everybody who must be registered is registered. So starting next week in Turkana, we are starting Usajili Mashinani, mainly targeting as a start those counties which were disadvantaged, and Homabay is one of them. Because of vetting, quite a number of people were not registered, and we would want to make sure that everybody who was left out then is captured now. And therefore, starting next week, with the flag off of the CS, this Usajili Mashinani will start, so that we go to every other county to make sure that all Kenyans are registered. Without going beyond that, it's now my humble duty to invite our Cabinet Secretary. So let's all be upstanding so that we can have our CS commissioned and celebrate with us on this National ID Day. Karibu Wasili.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Please, Katie. Asante sana, PS. Our Principal Secretary, Immigration and Citizen Services, Dr. Kisani Bedio. Our Principal Secretary, Internal Security and National Administration, Dr. Raymond Omolo. Our Members of Parliament, led by Peter Oponda Kaluma, and our DIG, National Security Team members who are here, Regional Security Team members, County Security Team, members of the public, good afternoon. I'm Jambo. I just want to say very briefly that I am really privileged to be here this afternoon. It's a great honor and privilege to join you all today in the heart of Homabay County as we celebrate International Identity Day 2025. This is not just a celebration which is local, it's international, it's all over the world. And it's, for Kenya, it's being done in Homabay. So this is extremely important. Jipigeni makofi. This day is a day that affirms one of the most fundamental human rights, the right to be recognized, the right to be counted, and the right to belong. Allow me to begin by appreciating the Principal Secretary, Migration and Citizen Services, Dr. Belio Kipsan, for his insightful remarks that he has shared to highlight the policy direction of the ministry and the way forward. Today we gather not only to celebrate our achievements, but to affirm our shared commitment to building an inclusive, efficient, and a forward-looking identity ecosystem. The symbolism of this date, the 16th day of the 9th month, is no coincidence. It's a reference to Sustainable Development Goal number 16.9, which is a UN Sustainable Development Goal, which calls for the legal identity for all, including birth registration by the year 2030. Kenya stands proud among the nations making tangible progress towards this very important international goal. Over the past few years, we have witnessed transformational changes in our identity management landscape. Policies and actions that have made identity accessible, fairer, and more inclusive. The government of Kenya successfully granted citizenship and identification document to previously stateless communities such as Makonde, Shona, and Pemba. These communities now stand tall and proud citizens of Kenya, able to fully participate in national life. This is not just a legal milestone, it is a human one. Two, the rollout of Maisha Number ecosystem continues to be a very important cornerstone in our digitization agenda, designed to offer secure, unified, and interoperable identity framework. It enables Kenyans to access services efficiently and securely, whether it's healthcare, education, banking, or also exercising their voting rights. Three, at the direction of His Excellency the President, we have removed fees for first-time ID applicants, ensuring that financial constraints no longer stand in the way of Kenya accessing their legal identity. And I'm very happy to see everywhere we have gone in the 39 counties, including this one, you can see the huge number of Kenyans, young Kenyans, who have just attained the age of 18 years, between 18 and 20. Some have delayed up to 21 years because some could not afford 300 shillings to pay to come and register for their own ID. Today you can see them registering for free. All of them, first-time ID applicants are getting it for free. Somebody's coming here, they're paying nothing and go home. That includes even those who are of adult age, 30, 40 years. For as long as you are applying your ID for the first time, you are taking it free. And we are in the process of reviewing those who are replacing their IDs to make sure also that the cost becomes affordable. Not necessarily very free, so that everybody can take care of their ID, but we are reviewing the fee so that it becomes more affordable. In our journey towards equity and fairness, the government has also abolished the extra vetting requirement for identification for certain communities around, especially border counties, which includes Homabay County. This created unnecessary delays and stigmatization. We continue to review other similar legacy requirements that hinder equal access to identity cards. When the president launched this process of reviewing the extra vetting requirements for border counties, there was a lot of propaganda, especially for these politicians who are of shareholder mentality, who believe that some Kenyans do not deserve identity, that others are more important than others, that they started a propaganda trying to attack the people of northern part of the country. But they forget that all the border counties were being affected. Homabay, Migori, Narok, Kajiado, Kwale, Lamu, Tana River, Taita Taveta, counties like Garissa, Wajir, Mandera, Marsabit, Turkana, West Pokot, you come to Bungoma, and Busia. So it was all up to even parts of Siaya. So this is affecting the entire, those counties, first of all, were having problems. And then the counties that are neighboring those counties like Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia also is one of the border counties. And then the counties like Samburu were also being affected, who are just by neighboring Marsabit and other parts of Isiolo. So this was something affecting not nearly a third of the counties in the country. And by the president just removing extra vetting, we have seen increased number of Kenyans getting an opportunity to access their identity cards. And this is something we must celebrate, not just as Kenyans, but in terms of humanity, because people are getting to be registered. I have launched mobile registration outreach programs across all the 39 counties where Jukwaa la Usalama has been held, and today we extend this service also to Homabay County as we try to reach the remaining counties. Through these outreaches, we are determined to reach those previously left behind, marginalized communities in remote areas, elderly citizens, and young people who have long faced access barriers. Our plan with if you've looked at the machines, we have the live capture machines. In the past, you went to, or the practice in many places now, you go to registration center and your documents have to be taken all the way to Nairobi. Now, with live capture machines, which is the future of registration, you will not need to travel with documents, and our officers don't need to transmit documents to Nairobi. The only transmission will be when you are bringing back the ID. Once registration has been done using the live capture machines, all your documentation is sent, printed within a day or two, and in not more than 7 days, you have your identity card. Most of those people you are seeing outside here registering now, they will have their IDs in 3 days. So by Friday, all of them can collect their IDs. Since now we have Kabunde Airstrip, once we complete the renovation and the extension that we are doing now, it can even take 2-3 days because the documents can be flown here and distributed in good time. In addition, over the past 2 years, we have operationalized more than 40 new civil registration offices across the country, particularly in hard-reach areas, bringing it to a total of 170, up from 125. This expansion is ensuring that the Kenyans, regardless of where they live, enjoy equal access to their vital documents. Again, the area that we have had very poor access is birth certificates and death certificates. And there is also a prohibitive cost towards the issuance of birth certificate. We are reviewing with a view of bringing it down or eliminating completely the fees that are required for birth certificates so that Kenyans can get these documents. This registration process, also death certificates, which many Kenyans are unable to get, we want also to review the same. And that's why the offices have increased within the last 2 years from 125 to 175. Our obligation is that our intention is that before the next elections, we should reach at least all constituencies. We must have 290 registration centers. As you heard, I have directed that the constituencies, including Diwa, that don't have a registration officer, we must give them registration officers by December this year, so that the people can get their birth certificates and death certificates at our closer offices. We request also members of parliament here to support us in the budgetary allocation to make sure that these services are decentralized to at least the constituencies and subsequently to other parts of the country. With technology, in future, not so far, in the very near future, those who will be only applying IDs are those who will be trying, applying IDs will be those who will have become citizens of Kenya by application or and so forth. It will be possible to register children at birth and tell them to wait for their IDs, and they can pick them when they are of age, so that you don't have to wait when you are 18, you are going to registration center. That will be automatic going forward with the advance of technology. Further, we have decentralized passport application services so that Kenyans can access travel documents more conveniently. In the past, you had to travel all the way to Nairobi, including when I applied my passport, for you to get a passport, and then you go through very stringent procedures. But now, in this region, for example, people can now apply their passports in Kisumu or Kisii, and even travel to neighboring Kericho or Eldoret or Bungoma. Those counties, people don't have to travel to Nairobi. And then subsequently, we will work hard so that eventually every county will have passport registration center and you don't have to travel far. These achievements are worth celebrating, but also worth building upon. Fellow Kenyans, as we celebrate today, we must also take a honest look at the challenges of our past, because it is in understanding these challenges that we find the courage and wisdom to overcome them. For years, bureaucratic hurdles and outdated processes denied many Kenyans the right to identity. Communities were left stateless, youth were disenfranchised, and whole regions struggled to access public service. We listened, we learned, and we acted, but our work is not complete. Today, I am pleased to announce new directives aimed at strengthening and deepening our progress towards total inclusion and equity. First, effective today, the civil registration services will no longer charge any authentication fees for birth certificates when applying for national identity cards or passports. This step removes any unnecessary financial barrier and aligns with our vision to simplifying identity access. Two, while birth and death registration within 6 months is free, a fee is currently charged for obtaining birth or death certificates. The ministry is reviewing this policy with a view to making the first issuance of these certificates free of charge, since to ensure every child born in Kenya has access to birth certificate regardless of income and location. And once this review is complete, with the support and direction of His Excellency the President, we shall commence the process of eliminating the same. We are also initiating a policy review to recognize and document small unrecognized communities who still face systemic challenges in securing documentation. Every Kenya counts, and every Kenyan must be counted. We will be introducing user-friendly systems, allowing citizens to initiate and track their applications online. Kenyans should have real-time information on the process and the status of their national identification application. We want to ensure that there is a seamless, citizen-centric approach to identity services. I have also directed and have been assured that we will progressively expand the civil registration operational offices and to make sure that all the 290 constituencies are fully covered by the year 2027, to ensure that every child has access to birth registration services as close to their place of birth as possible. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, as part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen identity management, we are today launching a real-time biometric ID verification system with 3 key modules. One is an online solution which verifies a person's identity even without physical ID. Second, it integrates our current live capture system to verify all 10 fingerprints and issue a secure verification certificate. And 3, the third authenticates the validity of a physical ID against the data stored in the chip. This system will in time be linked to secure digital wallets, enabling safe and convenient access to e-government services, healthcare, and digital payments. Identity is not just about documents, it is about dignity, belonging, and opportunity. It is the key that opens doors to education, to health, employment, security, and citizenship. It is also the document that enables you to make your choices, to vote, and to determine the leaders that you would like to vote for. I want to challenge you people of Homabay. In paper or on the face of it, you have numbers. But where it matters, there is no numbers. Yeah? When now we ask, we have so many people we are feeding, but we have very few people making the decision. Yeah? We have so many people being led, but very few people, they have left very few people to make the decision as to who will lead them. It is time we encourage you to make sure that you have your identity card and play a role in determining the people who are going to lead you as a people. And that is not just Homabay. This right, many of the marginalized communities have been disenfranchised for many years just because they come from northern part of the country, the North Rift part of the country, they come from marginalized areas, they have been denied registration offices, they have been denied registration services as part of deliberate mechanisms of ensuring that they will never contribute to leadership in the country. This year, this time, this generation, we must bring everybody to the fold, and every Kenyan must matter in terms of determining the people who will lead them. I have seen the deliberate insult, characterization, and profiling of some parts of Kenya. Every time we say we are going there to offer registration of persons, we are going to give them mobile registration, we will make it easy for them to be registered. I have seen very terrible profiling by tribalists on Kenyans who consider themselves more important than others, that those people are either foreigners or that we are registering terrorists or we are bringing in foreigners to the country. It is time through registration we make every Kenyan matter, and they must matter where it matters most, that is at the ballot. So that going forward, all these political actors who want to lead our country can be forced to walk all over Kenya and feel the pain that other Kenyans feel as they look for votes and the opportunity to be led by those Kenyans. Until we bring all these Kenyans to the fold, we will continue with this negative profiling, negative message of major shareholders and lesser shareholders in our country. We must say enough is enough. Kenya belongs to all citizens, and every citizen must have a space in its leadership. Lastly, let's continue working together across all levels of government, civil society, development partners, and the private sector to make sure that no child goes unregistered, no youth goes unrecognized, and no adult is left behind in accessing identity. In conclusion, today we celebrate more than a policy goal, we celebrate progress. But more than that, we recommit ourselves to the mission of delivering legal identity to every Kenyan without exception. Let us use this Identity Day to renew our collective resolve to build a future where everyone is known, everyone is recognized, and everyone belongs. To every Kenyan out there, wherever you live, whichever community you come from, your identity matters and you matter. Happy Identity Day, and asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We'll start with the pastor delegates and
As we have said, legal identity starts from birth, and today we are going to confer actual legal identity to 5 of applicants who have applied for the certificates today. And I have the honor to ask our CS, our Cabinet Secretary, to hand over these certificates to the applicant today. The first one is for the child called Tamara Blessings. The father is Clinton Odhiambo Otieno, and the mother Rose Akinyi. The second one, Esther Shemo, the child Esther Shemo, father Samuel Otieno Nyamburi, and mother Dora Onyango Nyamburi. We have the third one, Ainsley Omondi. Ainsley Omondi, father Dickens Ochengo Kumu, and mother Daisy Akinyi Odier. We have the next one, Charles George Bryce, father Leroy Oscar Asira, and mother Stacy Odhiambo. Please. Thank you. We have another one, Heaven Mildred. Heaven Mildred, father Stevenson Odhiambo. Thank you. We have Riley Sam. Riley Sam, father Albert. Sorry. Okay, thank you.
Okay, asante sana waziri. Pia tuko na
Wangapi wa mama wamekuja hapa na watoto? Inua mkono. Wenye wamekuja kuregister birth na wako na watoto hapa. Basi, mtu yangu atasalimia nyinyi kabla. Sawa.
waziri, tuko na one ID card. Oyundo Joshua Otieno ako wapi? The ID card alipai mwezi wa 9 na Oudo aliapply tarehe 2.
Oh, alikuwa ameapply
Akumu, Carlos Akumu, Carlos Akumu may apply.
Also one passport from Eunice Adhiambo Mboga, who applied on the 4th of September, and the passport is already out. Eunice Adhiambo Mboga.
All the best.
Dan Otieno Gallo. Dan Otieno Gallo. There are 3. Dan Otieno Gallo.
Unaenda Dubai, eh? Very good. Well,
Asante sana waziri, tumeshukuru sana for attending this function. Thank you very much.
haya, tumesema asanteni sana. Sisi tunaenda sasa jukwaa la usalama, tuende tujadiliane vile